Hey, welcome to another episode of Cloud 113 Talk, where we sometimes call them therapy sessions. That's really resonated with our clients. Ryan, thanks for joining in. Ryan's the founder, CEO, architect here at Cloud 113, and I'm the CRO. Today's topic is around CPQ and our program called CPQ Rescue. Ryan, what's our website for CPQ Rescue?
CPQ Rescue, RESCUE.com. So CPQ Rescue.
Yeah. So today's topic is about CPQ stability or instability. And I think my first question is going to be around why Salesforce CPQ breaks very often at go live for clients. And I think for those people who've not worked in CPQ before, I'll just give you my 2 cents. But I think one thing about the platform is it's super complex relative to some of the other platforms that Salesforce has built over the year. So inherently, it may have some other issues. But when we think about why people struggle at go live with CPQ, what are the top 2 or 3 reasons that happens?
Sure. Well, one thing you have to know, Joe, is that CPQ is a jet engine that could probably launch rockets. And the majority of clients don't need all that power, right? So you have to configure it to meet the power needs of the client, but yet still keep it scalable. And one of the most important pieces for a CPQ rollout is planning and prep. Oftentimes, clients want to realize the ROI of CPQ day one, meaning as soon as they make the purchase and sign the agreement. If you don't put the right controls in and methodologies around a solid project plan and rollout with CPQ, because it is very unique, you're going to get what feels like a broken implementation. One of the biggest challenges in implementations is that the folks that are in the room providing direction on requirements aren't always the ones that are using CPQ that would be using CPQ day in and day out. And so you bring in some folks that may use it and it's good enough, it'll get past testing, but when it rolls out at scale, that's when you find challenges there. All right. So making sure that the UI and process flow of CPQ is important. One of the things that I've seen that we did was there are many products that could potentially be sold together. And there was a significant amount of training for the reps needed to know which products could not be sold together or which products had to be sold together. And you can set up product rules for some of those things, but it would have been a spider web and an overhead tech debt management nightmare to manage all that coordination. So instead, what we did was we built out a walkthrough for the reps that allowed them to make choices, and those choices reduced the amount of products that were available. And so based on a particular value, only certain products would show up. So we took the whole world of products and reduced it down based on walking the rep through. And that's not something that's standard CPQ, but it's something easily configurable that made a world of difference for that client and the reps, right?
Yeah. So let me play that back. If you could do it over again, you would bring the users the ones who are involved the most in earlier, like the sales reps or the guys on the shop floor. And then you would run them through education on what would make CPQ easier to use, for example, eliminating products. But you would do that earlier in the process, and then you would make sure the right people in the room. So we do see that a lot, right? People sign, and then they rush to implement, right? That makes sense.
Rushing to implement is frustration. It also helps. What we found was it also helps to have a CPQ demo for those users that are going to be providing requirements, so they can at least see what the end goal should look similar to. Right? So you have a generic CPQ setup that you can give them a demo, run them through, because sometimes the demos that are received from Salesforce have all the functionality, right?
Okay. So are you saying, I hear 2 things there. Are you saying a reverse demo, so they show you how they go about configuring pricing and quoting, and then another demo on how Salesforce will facilitate their version of configure price quote?
Yes. So you'll need the reverse demo for gathering requirements, 100%. But yes, giving them a generic demo of the CPQ process in Salesforce often helps. Now, we're at a point where there are no new net CPQ licenses,
Yep.
right? So nobody's getting a new one. So we would move to Revenue Cloud and show the CPQ through Revenue Cloud.
Right. So the message then is if you need help with CPQ right now, bring us in. A lot of this could be going back over what CPQ in Salesforce is relative to what CPQ at your organization is, and then realigning with the users. And that's actually a big part of what you did in your last project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good point. Moving forward, we just have to focus on, and we say this all the time, if you have CPQ and you need somebody to babysit it for you, we'll do that. If you have CPQ and you have a 2-year plan to move to Revenue Cloud, we can do that. And if you have already made investment in Revenue Cloud and you're heading that direction, we can also help you jump into that current plan. Well, I really do appreciate your time, dude. Thanks a lot, and
Yeah. Thanks,
have a
Joe.
good day, man.
You too.